You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Revolution After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Revolution After Show.
Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV's recap of NBC's Revolution, Season 2, Episode 12, Captain Trips. I'm your host, Megan Thomas, and who are you?
Whoa, what's up? Ryan Hooks here, guys. How you doing?
All right, Wolverine.
He's revolutionary. And I'm your host, Larice People. Sorry to cut you off, but it's been a long time. Nice seeing you.
Welcome back, and I am Francesca Dugan.
Yes, and welcome back, Larice.
Thank you.
Fresh off his
Man, Larice, I forgot how good looking you are.
Typhus.
Hey, I know, right?
Typhus in your
I was kind of sick last week.
Right.
That's why I didn't want to sit by him.
Right, you got the antidote.
Sorry, thank you. You kind of stuck with me tonight.
Yes, you got the antidote that clearly Dr. Porter needs this episode.
Yes.
So let's get right into it. What I need everyone to do is give me one word that describes this episode.
We're going to play this game again?
Yes, we're going to do it every week because it changes every week. What did you think? I'll start. What?
Okay.
Yeah. Here's the last word.
All right.
No, that's 3 words. Actually, all right. Okay.
All right.
Well, let's start with Aaron and his beautiful ex-wife, Priscilla. We find that Grace leaves and leaves a Dear John letter. Why does Grace leave?
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
That's kind of weird.
She's got stuff to do.
Like what?
Her part of the story isn't done, so...
It's like Grace knows a lot of information, but you kind of see her pop in and she kind of explains some things, then she kind of leaves everybody hanging.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. I think Grace left because, I don't know, I think maybe the nanites probably gave her a sign like, you need to go.
Maybe they told her to go to Texas too.
Maybe she's already there.
Remember, she's on a head start. She's basically just planning.
Somewhere else. She's somewhere else. I don't think she's going to be back.
She'll be at the end of the season, like last episode.
Yeah,
like
something
Grace
crazy.
Reappears and then she disappears again.
Right. She'll be back, I'm sure.
For sure be back.
So then Grace leaves, and then guess who comes back? Cynthia.
What?
That
It's
was
not really
trippy.
Cynthia.
It was
was.
so crazy that the nanites decided to personify Cynthia.
Right?
his
'Cause
attention.
a couple shows ago, we were trying to figure out like who do we think? Oh my God, the
Nanites.
Dang. Are you nervous with me over here?
No.
I would be. Look how good Liberty is.
Then we come back and we were like, who would they look like? And I definitely wasn't thinking Cynthia.
Right.
So that was totally like, what?
I mean, do y'all really think a lot of nanites are in the form of human form with a lot of people on the show right now?
I just think with them
No,
because
just them.
Yeah, because of everything last season, that we know that they're kind of a part of the creators.
Right. So I think that the reason why I think the nanites became Cynthia is because the nanites know that Aaron really, really loved Cynthia. And now he's faced with someone that he really, really loved before, which is Priscilla. And I think if the nanites had not come in Cynthia's form to tell him to go to Lubbock, Texas, when Priscilla was like, I'm not going there, he probably would have been like, you know what? You're right. Let's not go.
I'm not going either.
But I think because they came back as Cynthia and it was Cynthia telling him that message, he was more receptive to it. Like, no, we got to go.
Yes.
I agree.
Emotional connection.
I agree.
Right. And then, of course, the crazy... the nanites are dangerous.
They are controlling.
They are very... Look, they're going to ask you to do what they say, but if you don't...
But at the
That's
same
their
time,
mommy and daddy.
yeah, but at the same time, you gotta kind of look at it like, seriously, you know what the nanites can do. You can't be like, oh, I'm not gonna do anything that they ask me to do, because at any given moment, they set people on fire. They come in another form.
They save lives.
Like, exactly. Like, anything you ask me, I'm going to do. Okay, cool, whatever. What do you want?
But they didn't ask the nanites to go to Lubbock. The Lubbock they're saying you have to go to Lubbock. We're going to make you go.
I mean,
you have no choice.
The same thing as asking. You have no choice.
No.
I was like, whatever you want.
Well, they asked nicely at first, and now you're going.
It's kind of like your parents. They're like, oh, like, clean up your room. You don't clean up your room. They like beat you. They spank you. Then it's like, okay, cool. Like, I have to go. Nah, I'm going to clean my room.
Now it's clean. Made my bed
clean every day now. Bed made.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I just think that they're going to do like a country tour because first they started off with Spring City. Now they're going to Lubbock. So I don't know.
They're staying in the Southwest,
Mid-South,
I think.
Yeah.
They're staying on this side of the country.
The Great Plains nations.
Yes, Great Plains nations. They'll probably be going back through again.
Probably.
What do you think's in Texas?
Everything, honey.
Willoughby's in Texas.
Everything's bigger in Texas. We'll see. I'm not sure though. I'll say that.
It was just kind of freaking because like when Priscilla was like, oh no, I'm not going, then Aaron kind of like a nanite comes in her face saying like, hey, don't go anywhere. And then Aaron look at the trees like, okay, is something's really about to happen? Then he goes to save her and like this big tree just falls.
And I think also the nanites are like, it doesn't really matter because the tree could have fallen on her and they would have been like, okay, now you know, now we'll revive you. Seriously, that's why I don't think the nanites have a problem with like hurting mommy and daddy because they're like, we just need to know you're serious, but we'll fix you. But
they showed what was going to happen in Texas. On the trailer.
What? Oh, the healing for next week. I am so excited about next week's episode. I am.
Hey, let's not get premature. Let's talk about this episode first. Save it till the end.
I know, you're so excited tonight.
I need some more foreplay. Come on. Let's talk some more about Priscilla and Aaron.
Oh, gosh. If you love our podcast, make sure you go to iTunes. Why should people go to iTunes?
Because iTunes, you can rate us, you can comment us, you can tell us what you think. Makes the show more searchable so we can bring more content to you in an easier to find sort of manner. You can leave us comments, questions, concerns. You can find out all you need to know on iTunes.
Right. And it's really easy. All you have to do is go to iTunes and search AfterBuzz TV Revolution, and you will see our podcast. Just click subscribe and give us 5 stars.
Because 5 stars are better than no stars.
Right. And you can also leave us comments on our YouTube videos as well. Do you have any
Yeah, I do. Big shout out, thanks to Michael B for watching the show.
What's up, Michael
this
B?
week. Thanks. Loves the show. And also, Cyber Girl 1980. She left a comment this week that says she agrees with Megan that Charlie could be Miles' daughter.
What? I've been saying that since last season.
Since last season.
What's her name? Saber Girl. Hey, shout out to you.
Saber Girl 1980, okay?
1980. All I think about right now is hummus. Sabra hummus.
Oh God!
So,
well, that's not going
to
that. Right. So that's not going to do anything to heal the typhus that's been going around.
Yes.
In Willoughby, Texas. So we see that Miles and crew have made it back from Mexico after a week, which I find very hard to believe because if you understand how big Texas is, to get from
how
the
big
very
is
top,
Texas?
The very top of Texas to the very bottom is like 11 hours drive. Okay, that's a drive. So for him to say they went across the border from Lubbock, where Lubbock is across the border, like there's no way they did that on foot in a week.
Hey, they walk fast.
I don't know.
They did not sleep, okay?
Maybe the nanites flew them there.
That's a lie.
They have favor.
So after a week, they make it back from Mexico with Connor in tow added to their crew. What do you guys think about Connor being added to the Rat Pack?
I think he's really going to be confrontational. A lot of things that in his vision, what he's used to, he really don't understand what they have been through. And he's just like a new kid on the block. Right. He's like, okay, cool, what are we going to do? It's all about me and my dad. And it's more of a selfish appearance that Connor has because he don't know Miles now. He don't know the history. He don't know the relationship they have. He don't know what Miles have done for Sebastian. So he's kind of more of like, hey, it's about me and my dad. When are we actually going to start ruling the Republic again?
Right.
Yeah, I think he's too antsy to like get to the end point and not necessarily put in the work to get from A to B.
Right.
Especially we saw when he sat him down and had that talk with them about that they're going to help him whether he wants to or not.
Right.
Yeah.
When, they're going to help Rachel, even though they know that she's crazy and they don't like her.
Right.
I agree, Larice. He doesn't know what they've been through over these last years, and even before the blackout,
And I think he's young. That's part of his youth, just jumping the gun, like, let's get out of here. We don't need this mess. Let's go conquer the world. But he doesn't understand the steps that.
Does it kind of remind you of Charlie when it first came on? How Charlie was just like real gun ho about everything, and she just really cared about one thing,
right,
and not everyone else.
Right.
So.
Yeah, he. I feel like he kind of just it fit right away. They kind of just
Yeah,
molded
he definitely is
together.
part of the family.
Part of the family.
I mean, he does have the same personality. So
He is Monroe.
he is Monroe.
Definitely is. So then we see that Rachel decides to infiltrate the camp when she sees her dad and her daughter there. By the way, I was laughing because she had a handkerchief on as her disguise. She didn't try to put her hair in a bun. She didn't try anything. She was like, I'm just going to walk in here because there's
strolling
tons
like I own
of
the place.
Sorry.
blondes with wavy hair in this camp, apparently. But anyway, she gets in there, and of course, the Patriots spot her. What did you think was going to happen to her at this point when you guys saw that?
They were going to capture her. Because
Did
the way
you
he
think they were
walked
gonna-
up to her and he was like, hey, Rachel.
Did you think they were going to
Nice
let
of
her...
you to join us.
Right. Did you think they were going to let her, I guess, help? Or did you think they were going to be like, okay, we got to put you in prison?
No, I think they was going to actually let her help
Yeah,
because of
I
her
agree.
father, because of the situation what's going on right now, because of the typhus. You know, they really don't know if she has it at that moment. Well, they know that she don't have it because they are the one who's administering the typhus to you.
Right.
Yeah, no, I think I thought the same thing, that they were just gonna let her be there with her dad and her daughter.
Right. So we find that they're losing a bunch of people per hour.
Dropping like flies.
Dropping like flies. And it's also some of the soldiers, which I think is kind of messed up. Because if the Patriots are behind the typhus, do you think any of these soldiers knew? Or are they kind of
No.
just like,
No, they didn't know.
No.
that's sad.
Absolutely not.
That's sad, right?
Nobody really knows, and I think what happened is that with the soldier, that they just cannot just do the civilians of Willoughby.
Yeah, you have to- you have to
kind
do
of make it
somebody
seem
else.
like everyone's catching it because
Right.
either the soldier got her from being close to one of the infected individuals, and again, it's just like it happened, and they're just really kind of weaning out the weaker people.
Right.
The
Just-
Willoughby dropouts.
How do you think they gave it to the people? Because remember we said the oranges.
I think
But how
so.
do they? But remember when they took the oranges into the city, they just set them down and people started reaching in for them. So how do you make sure certain people get the infected the typhus oranges?
They probably gave them specifically the typhus orders. They
Yeah.
probably said, here's all these
okay.
oranges and everyone just eat what you want. Took them away and then said, hey, we brought you some more, and then gave them
Oh, maybe
directly.
like door to door, like, hey, we bought you some more,
Yeah.
something like that. Okay, that
drop
makes
them
sense
off.
then.
I mean,
I think in the food or the water is probably what they how they're getting contaminated. Because you look at Gene, how did he really get it? I think it's probably something more of like either he drank or ate.
Oh yeah, they said that, but I don't. I mean, they never show us.
They
what
never
he
showed
drank
it.
or
Yeah.
ate,
Yeah.
but at least
Doing
they
it.
did show us in the last episode about the orange, or 2 episodes ago about the oranges. So
Yeah.
I guess I was just more concerned with how do you get it to certain people, and
so
I
you
guess
know
that
who's
makes,
getting it and not who's
right. If you know the bipolar, the drunks, and the epileptics get it,
not. The B-level citizens.
right? That
I
is
think
so
I am
messed
cured of all my everything. No, I'm not an alcoholic
Right.
no more. I'm just straight.
up. Right.
No, just an orange. It's
Just
fine.
like, you know
Just
what?
an orange.
I don't even want an orange.
A little vitamin C.
But then that says something also that Charlie and Rachel, they don't give it to them. Why do you think they don't give it to them?
I think now
good
that the
question.
reason that they gave it to Gene is that they would feel more okay where your father have it, so you really have to kind of stay here. They no longer have Gene. They know Rachel is just as qualified as a doctor as Gene is. So I think it's more of like the fear of you can possibly have it too.
I think or I think at this point, Ed knows that he can use this as a way to manipulate them, and maybe he doesn't think that they figured it out.
Yeah.
And he's going to try to make Gene sick, and then he's going to say, oh, I'll give you the antidote, but you have to do this and help me do this.
Yeah.
As a way to boost his career and move him up in the ranks.
I don't know. I think they really were going to let Dr. Porter die. And I think the
He
reason
still
why
might.
is because,
Yeah, I
they're
was gonna
talking
say, I don't
about
know.
weak people. He's old at this point. And I do agree that although Rachel's not a medical doctor, I guess, in the sense she's more of a scientist, but I think maybe the stuff that they need, they can get her to do for the town.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I think it's probably also because of the betrayal of Dr. Porter when he was in Willoughby is the reason why he probably gave it to him.
Yeah, because he did, lead them astray, if you will.
Very true. So I do think they were going to kill him off anyway. So Rachel finds out with her brainiac self and her 8th grade science, her 8th grade science
Her
kit
science
that she
kit. Some
has.
Microscope, and
Right.
that's it. It's just the way.
That's what I was-
Some broken glass, shards
That's
of
what I
glass.
was thinking of, like when she was putting the blood, like mixing the blood in with the solution, putting it on the glass. I was like, "Oh, I did that in 8th grade." And
It's simple blood test. That's all
it
she's
is
doing.
right.
So.
But she finds out that the typhus is a manufactured protein. So this is it's not naturally occurring.
Yeah.
So definitely the Patriots are up to something, and they devise a plan because, of course, Dr. Porter's sick, to have Miles Monroe and Connor capture Ed. Good
Brilliant.
old Ed.
Yeah.
It's a good plan.
By the way, they were using the little black rock, which I thought was hilarious.
All of just
Totally
random
camouflaged.
Yeah.
Good old
Random black rock in the
obsidian
middle of
just
the
hanging out in the
desert.
desert.
It's like a shiny black rock too. Like, I would go, oh, what is this? With my
metallic
Patriot
rock.
gun. If I'm
I mean, see.
you know,
It looked like a plastic bag.
Right.
And then, like it's caught in the barbed wire. at
right.
first.
It was just a little too non.
I just kept thinking, I kept thinking
Hide.
about Shawshank Redemption, where he's going in and finds the big black obsidian rock with all the money underneath
Yeah.
it, the note about Mexico.
Right. So I think they do something very smart because they know there has to be a vaccine if this is a controlled outbreak. So they give Ed a shot of freshly squeezed typhus blood.
I would've done
Do you think that they really gave him typhus?
I would have
Yes.
done the same
Yeah,
thing.
I would've.
Like, seriously, is you going to help me or you going to die? I would have
Right.
did the same thing.
Right.
Yeah,
But I
they
think
really
it was
did.
real. Yeah.
Okay.
They definitely could have pretended, but I just think they would just do it because
Because that's
I mean,
the kind of people they are.
they don't really like him, right?
Right.
So-
Right.
It's like more or less like, what do they have to lose because Dr. Porter is dying, and if Ed do not give him the vaccine, you're going to die too.
Right. I mean, I guess at first I was like, I wonder if it was real. That is something that I thought about. But after a while, I'm like, okay, it probably was real. It makes more sense if they really
Has
did
to
give
be.
him
Yeah.
typhus blood.
I mean, not in real life, but on TV.
Of course. So then they tell Connor, they get Connor to put on a Patriot outfit and go in with Ed to retrieve the vaccine. Do you think that was a right choice?
No. I think they actually probably have vaccine at the quarantine camp, just in case one. Because you got to look at it. They're giving the soldiers, they're giving the people of Willoughby this vaccine. Or is everybody contracting it at Willoughby, or again, Dr. Porter contracted it at the camp? So I feel they have a vaccine at the camp probably.
I don't think they have it at the.
I don't think so
The
either.
reason why I don't think they have it is because the fact that there is a vaccine is so hush hush that they cannot have anything anywhere.
Yeah,
and I
nobody
don't
can
think
find
anybody
it.
even knows about it except maybe Ed and maybe one other person. In
I
the
think.
camp.
Well, I think the people in front of the doors knew because you saw when Connor and Ed went in, they kind of. The guys
there
that
was
were
that
guarding
look
the door, there's a look. So they probably
They said,
probably know
who's
what
this
they're
guy?
guarding, and they're like, yeah, who is this
I don't
guy?
think they know what they're guarding. Usually, when you're military detail and if you don't have certain clearance, you're just told to do something, but you don't know why.
But they know whatever's in there is probably like they might not know what it is,
Something
but
important.
I just the looks
Right.
that they gave you. I knew that they were gonna come in or something was gonna happen, but I do think it was a good idea to send Connor with them because clearly someone's gonna recognize Miles,
Right.
or Sebastian. So
Any of them, yeah.
So Connor was perfect.
Right. And I'm sure they're not too far behind to make sure little Connor, Daddy Sebastian's going to make sure his
Gonna
kid's okay.
Ride in and save the day again.
Right. But I do think it was smart what Connor did, which was, I would have probably been dead at this point because as
Last
Ed
season.
is bending, I know I'd have been dead a long time ago, but as Ed is bending down to grab the vaccine, Connor stops him because he's like, no, there's something in there. Let
There's
me
always
check.
a vaccine.
I would have just been like, yeah, you get that vaccine.
Be like,
Bye, man.
Megan's
I know.
died.
And I'm dead. Yes, I would not have survived.
No, I think that was smart. I wasn't thinking that too until he's like, wait a minute. I was like, oh, that's right. He could have. I was thinking that nothing was in there at all. He was just faking
Clearly,
it
you guys
completely.
don't own guns or a safe for your guns.
I
So-
am peaceful.
I
Okay?
mean,
Right.
yeah, I wouldn't survive a black. I'd be like, oh, no worry, it's okay.
Yeah, no.
Like, you can't trust anybody in a situation like that, especially someone like him. You can't trust anybody.
I agree with you.
But even when he kind of went in to get the vaccine, he pulled the gun out, and then when the soldier came charging in, I would have basically like, it's either kill me, I drop all the vaccine right now, and everybody will get sick eventually, or let me go.
Right.
We'll see. I was hoping for a shootout because he made that comment where he was like, yeah, I'm pretty fast myself. So,
Yeah.
Right. And I
But
think-
you gotta look at it, they came barging in, so the closest thing to him either the general, and they're not gonna shoot the general.
And I think it makes sense that the shootout. I don't think the shootout's going to happen because they've got automatic weapons. He has what is that? A 46,
Yeah,
a 48?
46.
I don't know. 36,
45.
48,
I'm like 46. That's a new
45,
one.
99. I don't know.
That's a new-
it's either a 9mm or a 45.
It's like, they got a new gun out there, 46. They got a 46 out there.
Again, we don't know guns.
With a 12-round banana clip.
Clearly, Francesca and I would have been dead as soon as the black eye happened. What, the lights are out? I'm
Last next season.
I can't do my hair. I'm done.
I would have been gone as soon as the lights went
Killed
out.
myself.
My eyebrows are messed up and everything.
Right. So what do you think? Do you think Connor's gonna make it out of there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Why? And besides the fact that
Yes.
because it's in the storyline and you feel like it should just go on.
Well, I mean, he's either gonna think fast on his feet because he was, helping head the cartel back in Mexico.
Yeah.
Or B, Miles and Sebastian are gonna pop up out of
Yeah.
But at the
pop
same
out of the other safe or something. Like
I know, right? It's like Miles and Sebastian just popping out of the safe. But I think the thing about it is that he can hold Ed there as long as he wants. And the longer he holds Ed there, the quicker he's going to die because he don't have the vaccine. So it's either the choice of you let us walk out of here and save General Ed, or he can sit here and die slowly a painful death, and that's it.
Yeah, I agree. They can't kill him because A, you can't write him off the show, and B,
Already?
already? Gosh, it's too soon.
Yeah.
He's got to have a relationship with Charlie first.
2 weeks and that's
Right.
it?
2 weeks.
Yes.
No, but they can't write him off, and then they're not in a situation where, as soldiers, they would win, so they wouldn't fire that shot because you're not going to fire at your commanding officer who's being held at gunpoint because who you're going to kill?
Yeah.
Right.
Both of them.
Right. And I don't think that something that you said, Francesca, when he gave him a look, I don't think the guys necessarily knew what was going on. But when your commanding officer gives you a look, like
Distressed look.
the
Come
the
follow,
big,
follow
the big
me.
eye look like this. That
know,
means
right?
there's something, something might be happening. So I think that's the reason why they busted in there. Like, hold on, they probably were listening on the door. Like,
yeah.
what's going on? And of course, you can hear. I'm sure.
I mean, but you gotta also look at they walked in there and they just shut the door, and they probably don't even know who Connor is because they're probably familiar with a lot of the soldiers that's around. That's
Right.
in
People
the
are always
camp.
there.
And he kind of walked in, and he shut the door like, okay.
And he doesn't have on the correct, like he doesn't have an automatic gun because everybody else does. All the other patriots.
Yeah, but a lot
walking
of
around have
the
them.
officers only carry sidearms.
But he's not if he was an officer, they would know him.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like and anybody that comes in from out of town that is a patriot, they are heavily guarded themselves.
Yeah.
Like when Dr. Horn came in, you know who high-ranking officials are. So I think they're like, okay, this guy is young, he looks like a rookie, and he's going in here to Ed's office, which probably a lot of them have been in. So
Into
they're
the
kind of
office.
like, this is fishy, and I just got the look.
The look.
All you gotta do is give me
The
that
The look with
and then give
with
me
the
that
head
look.
nod, like, yo,
Right.
come in.
Okay, so let's take it on over to Washington, D.C., where the National Mall looks atrocious.
Yes.
Yes.
Like a swamp.
Someone's not doing their job of cleaning the pool.
Be like, where's maintenance at? The pool is dry.
The reflecting
Weed.
It looks horrible, but then we also see it's the meeting place for Julia and Tom, which I think is stupid.
Well,
Yeah.
that goes to the other episode where Julia came out to the camp or the tents, the barracks, whatever you want to call
Right.
it, by herself. That was just, it was dumb, and we were wondering if that was going to get noticed. And I think
Always.
Right.
did.
And I think what was funny is I don't know if anybody else is out on this National Mall. Y'all both just happen to be there sitting on the same bench.
Same bench. It's like
Let's
coincidence.
sit far apart from each other.
And make it look like we're not on the same bench
But
together.
we're on the same
We
bench.
don't know each other, but we're on the same one bench out of all the benches
Right.
in the
all the
National
acres
Mall.
of just
Right.
emptiness.
It's like, why?
right. So then, of course, they're talking about Jason. Jason's been captured. They don't know where he is. And Julia says that Major Neville, or Captain Neville, needs to go. He's just he needs to figure it out. But then he says that Julia is the better one of the two to figure out where Jason is, considering she's married to Doyle.
She's got the in.
Yeah, she's got the end. But they give us a flashback.
Yes.
The 2 years before or after the blackout. And we kind of see how they became the
Dynamic couple.
The creepy
Fierce.
fetish loving couple that they are.
right, malicious type of couple that they are. Jason was sick, and you see, just like any other mother, Julia was distraught that her son could possibly die because of starvation. And Tom, the insurance guy, goes into the camp asking nicely if he can have some
Pretty
food,
please, my eye.
and gets the bejesus beat out of him.
I mean, seriously.
He gets beat up.
Porridge.
I'm sorry. I think it would have been very obvious to be like, "Hey, wife, you go in. They're probably nicer with you because you're a lady."
At first, but you look at, he didn't know those guys were there. He was just kind of walking through the woods,
Yeah,
and
that's
all of a
true.
sudden he saw them. He's like,
He found them,
food.
smelled
Maybe
it.
they can actually be helpful. But you gotta look at it. Two grown men, and it's like, you a third guy. I probably wouldn't be as generous to you because again, we're trying to survive also.
Right.
However, if there's a lady around, we could procreate.
And then just make us be more hungry because now we have another mouth to feed.
You guys sound
Do you
like a
really
married couple.
think that we as men think that far ahead?
You don't
Apparently
think
not.
at all. Right?
No.
No, there's one part that's thinking.
Okay.
We're
Then we see
moving
that
on.
My
that's
brain.
we see that is what happened. So of course, Major Neville comes back and his wife tells him, we got to use our strengths. You're a smart man.
Gotta
I'm a
use your
lady.
brain.
You know. And so they come back. They try round 2, and this time is the way it's supposed to go, because Julia goes in there and flaunts her lady parts for food, and the guys are so much more generous with her. And
Of course they are.
then Tom comes in and he slits the other guy's throat quickly.
Who was a perv and was outside the tent watching?
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was watching the silhouettes. That was kind of gross.
You were watching Silhouettes too.
Well, we had to. We were forced to. And then he takes the shotgun and shoots the guy that's, like, making out with Julia. I think he should have just
Stabbed
sliced
him.
his neck.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you shoot the shotgun, people can hear it, and then somebody else might
Yeah.
come.
I think he did it more out of like the anger of
the
like
anger
you
of saying,
are
"Touch
my
my wife."
wife.
True.
Like I had to go through this for you to be on my wife in order to feed my child and for us to survive. But then, like I think he could have stabbed him. I mean, because if he would have went in the tent, the guy probably would have thought it was his friend coming in the tent, and he could have still like just like stabbed
I mean,
him.
they share food.
Yeah, but then he just took the shotguns like I'm just gonna kill. And you see how she like walked out the tent with like the blood half of him.
Oh my
his
gosh! And she wasn't phased. It didn't even seem like Julie was
That's
just scared at all. She was just like, "Okay, I didn't know you had it in you."
Right.
He said, "I didn't know you had it in you."
I love you.
Congrats!
Let's
like,
make out.
I know, seriously.
I don't know. That scene was just like weird to me.
Awkward sexual fetish
no,
tension.
I didn't see that at all. I was just like, I think he used extreme matters to kill the guy, but I think he realized that I think Julia really would have done it, and I think that's why he was like, I didn't know you had that in you,
Right.
because I think she didn't look disgusted or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But at the same time, she had to do what she felt was right to lure him in to get both of them separated
Right.
in order to save her son.
I mean, she's doing it right now with Doyle, so
I mean,
Oh, she's been around the block a couple
She-
times, honey, for a good cause. Huh?
yeah.
for a good time call.
Hey, she
For a
like
good
men in power.
cause.
I do want to say the last show we did, I was saying that I feel like she wasn't even having any motherly cares about Jason, and this episode you realize that she is worried about it, which even though she's worried, she didn't look it still. She's very like emotionless to me.
I think you kind of have to be that way, though. I mean,
Yeah.
after,
Yeah.
15, 20
Yeah.
years after, you're basically living in chaos. I
Right.
think it makes sense that you no longer can be soft. You don't have much to smile about.
Right.
You still love people on the inside, but it might not show
Yeah.
on your
On the
face.
outside.
Clearly. But yes, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I thought too. I was surprised that this flashback scene happened in the progression that it did. I thought he was actually gonna kill him in the first time, and this was
Right.
gonna be like the pinnacle defining moment of Neville becoming who he is now,
Yeah.
versus who he was.
Well,
I mean, it
But
still was.
I don't think Neville became the strategic killer that he is now with one event. I honestly think it happened over time. Because
Yeah.
remember last season, they showed a flashback. Somebody broke into the house or
that's what I was gonna
something,
say.
and he beat the dude up. He got beat up, like all that kind of stuff. So I think it's like a progression of stuff that happened that made him into the hardened man that he is.
I
and
think
that was
this
one
though
thing.
did though with the second aspect when they flash back the second time really defined him as the logical thinker that he is in the way that he can manipulate people, because this is the first time that we see him doing something where it's a thought out, planned ahead thing
Right.
that he's doing
Yeah.
instead of just reacting to a situation.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
So-
a lot more strategic, I'll say.
They have to be smarter, not stronger.
What?
You-
Because
It makes sense.
Because when he came back and she was kind of like bandage him up in the woods and stuff, and she's like, "You're a strong man, but there are a lot of strong men more men that are stronger than you. We have to basically be smarter."
Oh, okay. I see
yeah,
what you're
use your brain.
I was watching.
Yeah, I
I'm with you, Larice. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I got you. So
Yeah.
then, of course, we see, like we said, Julia is definitely sad that her son is yet again sick, gone, doesn't know where he is, doesn't know if he's alive, and she uses her strategic womanliness against her husband to get some more information. She tries to me, it's a little fishy.
Too
it's
hard,
a little,
yeah.
It's too hard. It was forced. It wasn't organic. How she told Doyle that, she was scared. That part I think I could get. Like, was the guy gone? Is he, I want to make sure we're safe here.
Nightmares, right?
Right. But the part of, well, where did you put him? That was too much.
Yeah, that was like a red light, I feel like.
Yeah.
Right.
I would have been like, why are you so nosy?
And clearly, if your husband is chief of staff, he's definitely a smart guy. He's gotten there through who knows how.
Yeah.
But he's a smart guy, so he knows something's up. To ask a question like that when everything is so under wraps, it's kind of, obviously, I'm sure, like, what did you think he wasn't going to know?
Yeah.
And so then she goes into the room and goes through his files late at night, rustling her papers around. Like, did you hear that? I was like, why is she so loud?
The only time we see them using candlelight.
I know, right?
Hey.
No electricity, but the first time we see candlelight.
Looking for paperwork. I knew that, that whole situation, it was just too fishy. You go ask all these questions, all of a sudden you go like searching through all this paperwork. I feel like it was going to catch up to her.
Right.
Well, it did.
And
I thought, though, when I was watching it, that she was going to sell him out. I thought that Julie was going to sell Neville out and that she was like saying these things, but really going to use Neville as a trade basically to get her son back.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that could still happen. So we'll save that for later.
I still feel like that's probably what she was going to do because, again, I still don't trust her. But things took a little different turn.
Right.
It did.
Right. So then she tells Neville that she is going to a dinner or lunch with her husband and another couple, and she helps them. She says, I'm going to leave the door open. You come on in, whatever. So then, of course, he comes to the door. It's open. At that moment, what do you guys think?
I think, we all kind of were like, it's kind of weird. Something's not right.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't hear talking. You just kind of heard
perfect.
music. Yeah.
I thought it was a setup.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I still think it's somewhat of a setup. I
think
do.
so.
I don't put it past him.
Right. Because here's the thing that I don't get. How did they know that Neville was coming to the lunch? Because Julia was the one that told Neville to come there. The door would be unlocked. Come through the back kitchen door. I'll have that open. Like, how did they know that?
But who sold who out? The question.
I know. I don't think because Doyle said you don't think I have eyes on her.
People
You don't think I
watching.
follow her.
But that's what I'm saying. But
so he probably knew something was going to happen.
But he didn't know
sometime.
when.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it doesn't make sense to me. Because how could he have known that Neville was going to come there? How did he know to bring that many men and to not have that other couple there? How would he have known that? Because if you remember, he told her, he's like, don't forget we have that lunch with the couple. He says that to her the night she goes to rustle through his papers. She didn't even rustle through his papers yet. So he still was suspicious. I don't know if he knew the whole story yet. But
Wait, she said that to Doyle?
No, he
Doyle
said that to her. Doyle said that to her. You remember he said that to her when she was getting ready to get in the bed.
But at the same time,
totally forgot that part.
I think they probably would have had the luncheon, but because he had like surveillance on her, and at the luncheon, when they probably got there, she probably questioned like, "Where's the couple at?" And they probably had like a disagreement or whatever. And he probably summoned his troops because he probably felt like something uncertain is about to happen.
Maybe we're just not giving Doyle enough credit.
I think he's a smart guy.
That's what I'm saying.
So you think he knew all along?
I'm on Team Doyle.
Like I
switching
said, he
sides.
saw that they were meeting up and they were talking with each other, and I think he just knew something was going to happen. And he's, they're out at a house. They're not like around a bunch of people, so that would have been a perfect time.
I don't know.
Because
I don't think something is not right about the situation. So I will say that's me and my conspiracy theories.
A little fishy.
Right. I do think that because he says to Julia that he really loved her. He was like, that wasn't an act. That was true.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can really truly love somebody if, I think he really didn't know. He probably just thought that her and Neville were like they might have been messing around, I don't think he knew the extent of it, and I think probably what happened is that he either Julia really is a traitor and that was all a show, or he probably got that information out of her on
Maybe
their
he
way.
got it out of Jason too.
Yeah.
He said he was tough, but they didn't say if he
That's
broke
true.
or not.
I totally forgot. He could have. We don't know.
But he said
what
Jason didn't say anything.
Yeah, but
He just said he's tough. He didn't say anything.
No, he did say that.
But
Yeah,
who did he say that to?
No, he said
he told that to Neville.
Yeah, he said that to Neville. He said he didn't say anything.
He wouldn't want to let on that he knows. Do you know what I mean? Because Neville said, I don't know, or Julia, I don't know how much he can take. Like, he might crack. We don't know if he's going to say something.
Right. But, I think that Doyle was telling the truth when he said, you got a tough kid. He didn't say anything.
I think Julia set him up.
think
That's what
Julia
I'm
set him
saying.
up, too.
Something ain't right with Julia.
I don't trust her, so like I said, I don't put it past her.
Good
I
thing we
just
have
feel
an
like it's
episode
just-
next week to watch.
Right.
What?
To see what happens to Julia. I hope they don't kill her.
Yeah. They're not going
I
to
really
kill
like
her.
their family. I like the Nevilles.
She's
as
not
a
going
family.
anywhere.
I don't know. We'll see. So yes, of course, they get separated. We don't know at this point we don't know if Jason's dead or alive. I think he's alive.
I
Yes,
hope
he's
so.
alive.
He's alive.
You know what
That's
I think?
my
I think they're gonna send him back to one of those concentration camps. The
Well,
re-education.
he was on that list of like people, right?
Right.
File. That's when they
Yeah.
found out what
Yeah.
camp he was at.
No. He's in jail. That's the jail.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
you're right, you're
but we don't know that's not a camp as well. Just because he's in jail, that could be, they're doing everything there at the same thing.
But I don't think. And you know what? No, hold on. Julia doesn't know what jail. She doesn't know. She just knows his number.
No, she said.
Remember what
they
she?
said
No,
She said the
no.
jail.
She said the jail.
She said it or did?
Yeah, she said it. She
Yeah,
tells
she did.
Neville where it is.
I forgot.
Oh, yeah, she did say it.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I wrote that wrong on my notes. It was a little dark. Sorry.
Killenworth
Yeah, because
Prison.
didn't he say how am I gonna like get there or something like that? Didn't he, or am I making that up?
No, Julia told Neville that she was in Killenworth Prison.
There you go. Yeah.
Kenilworth.
Whatever.
Kenilworth.
Kenworth.
Kenilworth.
Something with a K.
Anyway, I do think Jason's still alive. I just hope they don't
Yes.
send him to the re-education program. Not again. He just got brainwashed one time already.
Nah, I think they're gonna use Jason against Neville. Again, it's just so much that I have no
Poor
answers
Jason.
to.
Poor Jason. I think they're going to hold him hostage and they're going to say, you know what, Neville, you do what we want you to do or else. Like, I think maybe it's
Yeah.
going to have something to do with Miles and all of them. You go and you infiltrate. Go hang out with them again
Yeah.
and tell us what's going on and then we might give you your son back. I think that's
That's a
gonna
good theory.
It's a good theory. All right, let's go to news and gossip. Is that going to happen?
AfterBuzz TV News.
Well, I don't have any news and gossip.
I don't have any news to go.
But I will use this time to say, make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes. It's really easy. Just search for AfterBuzz TV Revolution and subscribe to our podcast. And let's go to predictions.
Yeah, Francesca, what do you think? Waiting for
And
the
now,
music.
Yeah, I
your
like to say.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I kind of.
Okay, Francesca, we'll start with you. Give us one prediction.
One?
Okay, you hold that lip. You ready?
You kind of like pause, like,
I kind of feel like they are gonna kill off Gramps, but I really don't want them to, so I don't want to say that.
Aw, Dr. Porter's gonna die?
Someone's got to die.
I know. I said that last week, and
In my notes, I just wrote, it's going down.
that's not what you wrote. What did you
I
really
can't really
write?
say what
You
I really
can't
wrote.
say that.
No, I'm not going to say that on the radio. There's little kids out there watching.
He's like, it's
It was
going
expletives. So me and Kesha were going down, literally.
Kesha, all right.
All right. All right, Larice, what do you think?
I think that they're gonna get the vaccine.
And they're going to get, what do you think they're going to do with the vaccine? Give it to everybody or just?
No, they're gonna say Gene and that Major Neville is gonna reappear back in Rachel's.
Well, we saw that in the trailer.
I know, but you got to go a little further than
Yeah.
that. What do you think? Well, hold on. You said you think that Gene's going to get healed.
Yeah.
What about Ed?
He's gonna get healed too.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
we could kill him off. He'd be an easy character to
Yes,
kill off.
I want him to
Nah.
die.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like
He
that,
has too
yeah.
much of a power. I think he's
Ooh,
still gonna be
save my-
alive.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, yeah, we saw in the trailer that something's going to happen between Rachel and Miles. 20 years of foreplay.
Right.
What?
That's a long foreplay. I'm like, man, already?
You know it's love.
I mean,
you know it's love.
If it's been
Waited
about
20
20 years, isn't Charlie about 20? Maybe the last time they had a little bit of
Right.
fun
That's what I'm
sometime?
telling you. Charlie is Miles' daughter. I already know.
But if he's saying it's 20 years in the making for them
It's
to
kinda
finally
weird.
get physical, then maybe
Again.
they didn't say finally get physical. She just said it's been 20 years of foreplay. So what she might have been saying is we had an affair, because obviously we already know that they did.
So they just skipped the foreplay.
maybe
Last time. Now they've been building up
Right.
to
It's
it
been a lot
again.
of flirting since the lights
I'm
went
really
out.
excited to see what happens with Texas, because they were showing some cuts of I think it's the guy who wrote the third part of the thesis. That's my guess is who that character is.
The
The one-
big
Peter.
That's it. Who wrote
big
the...
like wrestling looking
No,
guy.
the guy that was healing
he was
people.
holding that woman's head and was healing her.
Yeah.
In
That
Texas.
was like kind of creepy. That looked like alien stuff,
know,
and I was
right?
like, I don't do that. I don't
They
do
made
alien.
a godlike comment, and that's clearly nanite technology healing those people.
Right.
So I feel like that's going to be a big issue or a part of next week's episode.
Yeah.
Oh, Peter. That is a good idea.
I
I didn't make the connection, but yeah, he would be the only other person that can use the nanites, right?
Yeah.
According to...
That would be healing people.
That we, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Boom.
And we see Sebastian Monroe getting in a fight. Of course, he used to be a fighter back in Vegas.
A shirtless
New
fight.
Vegas.
I know, right?
Yes, shirtless fight. I don't really know why he would be fighting. That's kind of weird, but that is TBD. But here's what I think. I do think Ed is going to die.
Good.
And they're going to let him die and not get the typhus, vaccine. But I think Tom is the replacement. Tom is his replacement in Willoughby because we see that Tom comes back. Why would Tom go to Willoughby?
Right.
So I think, and that way they're like, okay, Tom, we're going to send you to Willoughby. If you don't do this, we're going to kill your son and Julia. So you go to Willoughby, you take Ed's spot, and then you get in good with, since you already know, we know that you know Miles and Rachel and all of those people. So now unify them and have them think that you're going to work with them.
And he has worked with them before.
That's what I was just going to
That's
say.
what I'm
Do you
saying.
think he's going to come in and... Exactly.
They're not going to trust him.
Well, I'm saying they're probably not going to trust him, but of
They'll
course
work with him.
They're going to work with him because they know him and they've been through stuff with him.
I just want them to all get along.
Not going to happen.
But honestly, I feel like whatever happens with Neville, he's going to eventually tell them, like, hey, they got my wife and my son. I need you guys to help me.
No, he's not.
He is.
They're always going to have that, like, love-hate relationship.
Okay, well, so that the hate comes when he's acting like he's their friend, and then the love's going to come when he really goes, oh my gosh, I need your help.
No.
I'm going to say next week's episode is going to be awesome. Yeah! That's all I'm going to say.
High five, everybody.
Air fives.
I know, right?
Yes,
All
where can we
right.
find you guys?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. This is Francesca. It's XOXOCESCA.
You can find me at True Peoples on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
And you can find me at RyanHooks92 on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Yahoo.
As always, hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Meg Scoop, like scoop of ice cream. We can't wait till next week's episode.
Oh,
See you then.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.